Hi there. I want to talk to you about money and lifestyle in the US because this is something that can feel pretty different when you first arrive as an au pair. So first, let's talk about money. For example, if you receive a weekly allowance, that means your income is fixed, so budgeting becomes really important. In the US, people are generally very comfortable talking about money, more so than in France. You might hear conversations about how much things cost, how much people earn, or how they're saving. It's not considered rude in the same way it can be in France. Another big difference is how people pay for things. Credit cards are extremely common here. Many Americans use them for everyday purchases, even small ones like coffee. That can be surprising if you're used to mostly using a debit card or cash. It also means people sometimes spend more easily because they're not always thinking about the money leaving their account immediately. You'll also notice something important when you go shopping. The price you see is not always the price you pay. Sales tax is added at checkout, so the final amount will be a little bit higher than the label. It can be confusing at first, but you'll get used to it quickly. And then there's tipping. So in the US, tipping is expected in many situations, especially in restaurants. It's not just a nice gesture, it's part of how workers earn their income. Usually people tip around 15 to 20% of the bill, so this is something you'll need to include in your budget when you go out. So now let's talk about lifestyle. American culture is often very centered around convenience and consumption, so you'll see a lot of big stores, online shopping, and constant sales. It can be tempting to buy things often, especially when everything feels new and exciting, but with a fixed allowance, it's important to be mindful of your spending. When it comes to social life, it's also common to split the bill when you go out with friends. Everyone pays for their own part, and sometimes you'll use apps to send money to each other, so it's very normal and expected. So my biggest advice is to try to find a balance, like enjoy your experience, go out, travel, try new things, but also be aware of your budget. Maybe set small goals like saving a certain amount each month. Living in the US can feel fast-paced and very consumer-focused, but it also gives you a lot of freedom to choose how you spend your time and money. If you stay organized and aware, you can really make the most of it. So don't stress too much, you'll adjust quickly. Just stay curious, ask questions, and give yourself time to adjust.